he put bacon grease about 10 feet up the tree, and then he put tape on the tree backward so that when the Sasquatch leaned in to lick the bacon grease, it would get some of those hairs.
You were talking about something called the Sasquatch Genome Study. So why don't you talk a little bit
Yes.
about that?
Okay, the Sasquatch Genome Study is something that was started by, I mentioned earlier, Scott Carpenter, who's no longer with us. Um, he's the one who I said is definitely a pioneer in the cryptid community. And a man by the name of Dave Politis, he runs something called the Can Am Missing Persons Project. You should check it out on YouTube. It's really interesting. They delve into missing people, missing persons up under strange circumstances, and they also talk about Sasquatch and the possible link there is in national parks and things like that. So they wanted to they were gathering evidence, and the way Scott gathered his evidence was he put bacon grease on a tree that he knew was a hot spot. He had seen these things. He put bacon grease about 10 feet up the tree, and then he put tape on the tree backward so that when the Sasquatch leaned in to lick the bacon grease, it would get some of those hairs. Now, in order to do um, a good like diagnostic on DNA, you have to have something called the skin tag, which is like the root of the hair. And so they got those, they acquired them, and they contacted a woman by the name of Melba Ketchum, Dr. Melba Ketchum. She was working for someone else in a lab somewhere, and because of the work she was doing and helping these guys, she had lost her job and she was even getting death threats.
Mm.
Since then, she created something, I believe it's called DNA analytics. It's her own place to process DNA. And with the Sasquatch DNA, the mitochondrial DNA, which would be from the mother, was came back as human woman. The nuclear DNA that that comes from the father came back as unknown. Nothing that's ever been on record anywhere, any place, anytime. And they tested and retested and tested and got even more, you know, samples and continued to come up with the same answers.
Yeah, there was a lot that was interesting to me. Diving into the Sasquatch genome study. Um, so when you talked about that human woman and unknown, um, are these? Is this the data like from the sequencing that they did based on what they got when they tried to gather DNA from the Sasquatch using, like you said, there was, I forgot if you said it was like bacon grease or is that the word?
Yes.
Okay. Um, so that's what they had gotten back, which is really strange, especially the unknown part, right? And that's where it's like, what is that? Is it, um, yeah, that's really strange. So
That's where think about the Nephilim,
Yeah,
as I was talking about before.
right.
yeah,
Um, I mean, angel DNA, who knows,